Welcome to another edition of CyberSecurity Divas Leadership Moments with Lendrell Downs. Today's edition is brought to you by Fortify Experts, a cybersecurity search and consulting firm that helps companies build high-performing security and risk teams. Now here's Lynn.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lendrell Downs, founder of CyberSecurity Divas, and I have Noureen Njoroge on the line. Hi, Noureen. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, Lindell, thank you so much for even having me here. My name, as you've heard, is Noureen Njoroge, and I'm a cybersecurity professional. I've been in this industry for a decade, more in security, in cyber, heavily in the last 8 years. Currently, a director of global cyber threat intelligence. I have a great team, and I really love what I do.
Can you tell me how you actually got into cybersecurity?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, for me, I switched from engineering into cyber. And how that happened was when I finished my engineering degree, when I was my first job, I was doing a lot of racking, switching, working in a data center. And those late night hours really taught me the hardcore behind the scenes of networking. And a previous company where I used to work, they used to have a lunch and learn series. And I joined one team that was called the InfoSec team, and they were talking about security and about various malwares that are trending on the landscape. And I was very curious, and I kept asking a lot of questions. And the manager of that team saw my keen interest and asked me if I want to do a stretch assignment with the team. As always, when an opportunity knocks, I jump on it. I joined the team and I started working and collaborating with them. And that piqued my curiosity into security. And ever since then, I have loved being in this industry. So I would say for me, curiosity is what got me into cybersecurity.
Okay. All right. So you're engineering now. So I'm looking at you got your bachelor's in engineering. What type of engineering was it?
Was information technology, but I focused more on engineering courses.
Okay.
So electrical computer engineering.
Oh, okay, great. So you've been in cybersecurity for the past 8 years. So what would you consider, who were your greatest mentors out there?
I have so many. I realized, just like in music, right? Nobody can whistle a symphony, right? We need an orchestra to do it. And I realized I can't do it alone in this industry. I have the knowledge, I had the experience, but I needed to learn from others who have been there before me. So amazing mentors I have, I would say Carmen Marsh, she's the CEO and founder of Intelligencer. Gary Hazlett, he's a CISO. Amazing guy. He's the author of Cybersecurity Essentials for Small, Medium Businesses. Okay. Very, very awesome person. Others are Dr. Mona Lisa Pinky. I currently work with her, and she's an amazing cybersecurity professional. Mm-hmm. And others will be Rina Madan. She's so amazing. She shares and willing to, have those kind of conversations in relating to cyber.
Oh, yeah. Those are some great mentors out there. So I'm going to ask, I know you've already mentioned like 4 or 5. Who was your greatest mentor?
It's hard to pick, but I would say Gary has been very phenomenal. And also now I want to give another shout out to another mentor. His name is Rohit Chaudhry, currently works at Cisco Systems. And the reason why they were great to me is because I could go to them and ask them questions authentically, like, how has it, because cybersecurity, honestly, it's male dominated. So I wanted to understand from a male perspective and then bring my female perspective. And they understood where I was coming from and where I want to achieve, and they're able to counsel and guide me.
Okay, that makes sense. What has been your greatest challenge in getting to the level you are today?
Greatest challenge? I would say the industry is constantly changing. So I find that I constantly have to keep on learning, and there's a lot. So try to learn to pace myself as the industry changes, and just the fact that there are not many of us as you climb up the ladder. So I find that a little bit challenging to see. You become who you see. Right?
Right.
So if there are not many of us over there, I choose to challenge that situation. Let me be one of them so that others can see and get that glimpse of hope. If she can do it, I can do it too.
Right. That's a great advice on there. So we were talking about mentors. Have you actually been a mentor?
I'm a huge advocate of mentor. As a matter of fact, when I got into the industry, it was hard to find mentors, especially female mentors, to be honest with you. And I took upon this initiative. When you have lemons, I make lemonade, right? I don't sit
Right.
back and just whine, it is what it is. I launched the Global Cybersecurity Mentoring Program right when we went into lockdown, and I realized it's a need in this industry. We need more people mentoring others, and it's a global community team where people join from all over around the world. They come to learn, get inspired, motivated, share knowledge, ask questions. Mentors find mentees and mentees find mentors. And then another initiative I also launched in mentoring is mentor and mentee women in cybersecurity, because I realized we are very few of us in this industry as compared to other gender. So let's have this comrade of women together, each empower the other, and increase this number. Let's move the number a little bit to have more of us. Yes. So I'm a huge advocate for mentorship, and I am a mentor myself, and I'm also a mentee.
Okay, cool. I love that. So let's get off base a little bit off this. So when you're not working and you're not dealing with cybersecurity, what do you do for fun or to keep yourself going every day?
I like outdoors, so a lot of walking, jogging. Before COVID, I used to participate in the Spartan Marathon where we could do those Spartan challenges. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. But I also like reading, not cybersecurity books, but just other motivational books that just for fun.
Yeah.
And I believe as leaders, readers, right? So I like reading books. So when you find me on my downtime, you'll find a book next to me.
So what was the last book you read?
Great question. What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith.
Okay.
Amazing book. I would recommend many leaders read it. It is amazing. Eye opener.
Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah. Now let's get back to where we were. So what was your greatest mistake you made or you've seen somebody make in cybersecurity?
I mean, mistakes are there to be made. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes because we learn from them, honestly. I would be concerned if I don't make a mistake, honestly, in my career, because I'm not learning. But that means I'm very complacent and just staying where I float, right? It's just like risk. Risk will always be there. You just have to learn how to manage them. So back to a mistake.
Maybe early career mistake. Early career.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them mistake. I would just call them challenges or whatever.
There you go.
But will be being too hard on myself. I really wanted this cybersecurity. I really wanted it so bad. And I found myself draining myself, really trying to pursue as many, maybe what you call a lot of certifications, trying to grasp it all, but only come to realize after I found mentors who really guided me, there are so many domains of cybersecurity. You can't know it all.
Right.
So pace yourself, Noureen, and just embrace the specific domain you want to be. So that was my early career.
I do understand that. So education, I see that you got your master's. Well, you got your bachelor's and then certifications. Okay. And like I said, I'm a recruiter, so I talk to people every day. And with your experience, how do you balance the both? Which would you say education did get certifications, or people just get your certification and try to get in? What do you think?
It depends. It depends on what career of cybersecurity you're coming in. You'll find a lot of people, because this is a new landscape, right? And as a leader and even as a director who's always hiring, I have a diverse team. And I've had a situation whereby I would even have to hire somebody who was formerly a journalist and bring them into my cybersecurity team, because journalists are the best storytellers. And if I'm selling a product, who are the best people to speak about that product? These journalists, because they bring their skill set. So I would say it depends on the career, on the domain of cybersecurity that you're wanting to. Education is good. You gotta be educated because you have to bring value to the table. You gotta be able to speak the language of business. So everyone has to get their education. I'm a huge advocate of that. When it comes to certification, I would not recommend you to go straight and start acquiring as many as you can. That was what I first did, but I would tell others not to. First, find the domain of cybersecurity that you really want to master, become the subject matter expert in it, and then start specializing in that skill set and getting the certificates in that area. That way, you're not all over, toast all over, because it's a vast industry and you can get overwhelmed. So, but education is good. I usually advise my mentees 3 E's: get your education, get your experience, and get your exposure. And exposure means networking, networking, networking. Find your mentor, find your sponsor, and get an advisor.
Love that. Oh my God, I love that. So how did you, okay, you mentioned earlier this being a male-dominant world, industry. How did you actually maneuver yourself through it to get where you are today?
Just being curious and just being me, authentic me, and just not being afraid to take any risks and not being afraid to be vulnerable and say, I don't know, can you explain that to me? And articulating where I want to go. So when I get in touch with my mentor, my advisor, I already know where I want to go. So when I talk to them, I'm at point B and I want to get at point C. How can I get there, right? Having those strategic, targeted career advice counsel has really helped me. And to be honest with you, it's only when I went into large conferences, that way you see so many male versus female, then you realize, oh, this is a male domain. But when you're doing your day-to-day work, because I really enjoy what I do, I don't see it or feel it that way, because hey, I know my worth, I know my value, and I know what I'm bringing to the table, so I just own it.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and that is so true. How you have to maneuver through. So what advice would you give a mid-person or security analyst to aspire to be a leader?
First, they have to have their own aspiration, right? They have to be aspiring to do it. Like I say, I can teach experience, but I can't teach passion. You have to be passionate at what you want to be. I find that a lot of people sometimes have a little gray idea of what is it that really want to be or grow into, what professional or leadership they want to be at, right? Not everybody wants to be in leadership. Not everybody wants to be managing people, and you have to appreciate that. But for those who want to climb the corporate ladder into leadership, you have to realize it's more about the people than the skill set, right? I'm coming from engineering background, so I'm more hands-on. However, when I moved into leadership, I realized I have to put my hands-on day-to-day activity on the side and coach the team that I have to be the best of the best they can be. And just and that's why mentors, advisors, coaches come into play, because they'll be able to give you that concrete advice as to how to transition into leadership.
Okay, I like that. So how I want to say this. Okay, so let's look at leaderships and communication and all that kind of stuff. I know as a great leader, you have to have great communication, able to communicate with everybody. So with that, do you look at people aspiring to be leaders to learn that communication skills, and how do they go about doing it?
Yes, those are key soft skills. And as a leader, since you're leading a team, you have to be more of a listener than the one speaking, so that you can be able to understand, one, what your team needs. It's not about you, it's about the team. And also able to listen what's not being said, right? Just picking the clues within the conversation and understanding where can I help them to shine the light, because as leaders, we are a lighthouse. Your job is to shine the light and let them sail, let them become the best of the best they can be. So those soft skills, like be an active listener, be present in every conversation. When I mean present is don't be multitasking, and don't listen with the intent to respond. Listen with the intent to understand what's been articulated. Be open-minded to ideas, because sometimes you'll hear some ideas that don't align with you. And you want to ask questions. Ask for clarity, right? And just be authentic and create that environment where people can just bring their whole self, where they feel free to speak with you. Either is it about the job? Is it about a course they are taking and they're struggling? Is it about how their dog ran away? Or, I mean, just make it fun, right? Be approachable, and also share your story, right? That's part of being able to open arms. Hey, I'm coming to you, you come to me. It's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And once people build trust in you as a leader, they can be able to follow you, right? Just having the title does not mean that people will follow you.
That's true.
Yeah, so there's those soft skills that people have to get. Active listener, being present, being authentic, having core values too, like vulnerability, integrity, authenticity, speaking with clarity, because as a leader, you have to have clear strategic path where you want your people to go, because where there's no vision, people perish. So you have to be very articulate and have a strategic idea on your vision for the team. Mm-hmm.
That is so true. So what is your biggest concern about the current state of preventing these threats today?
Yeah, that's everybody's concern, because cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility, I would say, right? It's constantly changing. It's constantly overwhelming. However, how do we stay ahead of it? We just have to keep on keeping on, but more so educating, bringing that awareness to each and every one of us. Start from your home, your kids, your school teachers, it's everybody's responsibility, right? And it's just the little cyber hygiene that gets overlooked that lands us into these breaches. Simple things like reusing a password instead of using a multi-factor authentication, right? Sharing maybe your too much information on social media, which later gets used on maybe synthetic identities and what have you, right?
Yes.
But not everybody knows all this. So it's good to share that knowledge with your common peers, your own family, your community, because cybersecurity is everybody's responsibility. And from an organization standpoint, is about knowing your enemy, right? Which enemy are you prone to get, attacked from? They're interested in you, getting to understand that, because an enemy that you don't know, you can prevent it against. So knowing your own enemy, knowing your own risk appetite, knowing your current state right now of defense, because we always want to be acting from a proactive side than reactive. And again, we always want to be responding than reacting.
That is so true. So, being the director of global threats, do you, some people like them, okay, they got their risk people here. Do you believe, and there are people dealing with hacking over here, do you believe in like cross-training so everybody know a little bit of something on everything? Or what do you think about the cross-training aspect?
I think that's very important. It's good to have that hybrid mixture, right? What we call purple teaming, right? You take the red teaming who are doing the offense, and then you take the blue team who are doing the defense, combine them together and have those challenges and be able to share and collaborate ideas. Because you have to think like a hacker in order to be able to defend. If you don't think like a hacker, then you'll be defeated, right? And remember, not all hackers are bad. I mean, some hackers are there just to advocate, hey, there's this vulnerability, go fix it. Those ones we call the bug bounties. However, it's good to know both sides of the wheel. And that's where purple teaming come into play. And it's good to share those mindsets.
Love that. Well, last question. What do you see the biggest opportunity to improve cybersecurity?
Biggest opportunity. For one, the job descriptions that are posted out there, they need to be revised and targeted towards this. Don't hire the whole department on one job description.
Oh my God. Yes. I like I said, I'm a recruiter, and when I'm talking to clients, I have to push back, and some of them get mad at me. I said, so what are the 3 things that this person really needs to get hired?
Right.
So I don't need the rest of it, just the 3.
Right. And be willing to give people a chance. I understand you need 10 skill sets, but if the person honestly meets 5, 6, or even 4, give them room for the rest to grow with you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And hire more women.
I love it, love it, love it. Well, Noureen, I really appreciate you doing this interview with me today. You are one of those cybersecurity divas, a diva that's driven, inspirational, visionary, and that has taken action in security. I applaud you.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
No, I really appreciated just having me here. And I just want to encourage everyone out there who's looking to join into cybersecurity, go for it. It's an awesome career. There are very many mentors out there to help you. Feel free to connect with us. We're here to help because indeed we rise by lifting each other.
Yes, I totally agree. Thank you, Noureen.
You're welcome.
All right.